Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us today for our monthly webinar. My name is Brandon Savage, and we'll do introductions in just a moment, but we're grateful that you're carving out a little bit of your time here to learn a little bit more about VOZIQ and our solution. We're halfway through the year and we're almost through July already, and I know many companies at this time of the year are assessing the first half of the year. You've closed the books for June, and you're starting to look at, where are we at to accomplish our second half goals. And some of you are already starting to think about 2025 and about what are our strategic goals and starting to put budget planning together. We're grateful that you're taking some moment today to learn more about our company. So let's introduce our panelists today. Again, my name is Brandon Savage. I am the head of solution enablement here at VOZIQ AI. I've been with the company for over 6 years, and I spent the first 2 decades of my career in executive positions at subscription recurring revenue businesses. And my teams owned the responsibility for customer retention and keeping the customers happy and trying to grow customer lifetime value. And that was where I actually got introduced to our other panelists today, our co-founder, VOZIQ AI. So VOZIQ, can you introduce yourself?
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. My name is VOZIQ AI. I'm one of the co-founders and also lead our data science team. We're a group of about 100 team members solving one problem that we are passionate about: how to increase the lifetime value of subscription businesses, right? So I myself have played various roles with improving customer lifetime value for many subscription businesses throughout the world. And proud to say that we focus more on not just building the insight, but operationalizing that insight, which will be the focus of this webinar. So looking forward to sharing some screens and sharing our insights with you. I'll pass it to Doug.
Yes, good day, everyone. My name is Doug Shapiro. I'm the Chief Sales Officer. I'm a Silicon Valley guy. Been helping organizations like yours with customer relationship management, retention management for some 30 years now. I've worked for some small software companies, large software companies, been on the other side as well. And I'm excited to share with you our vision, our strategy, and our solution, and how that might and how that will, in fact, bolster your revenue and your customer retention.
Well, terrific. I want to start off today just to kind of set the table about what we're doing. Over the last decade, we've been working with subscription businesses to help them maximize their revenue opportunities across the customer lifecycle. We deeply understand their needs. AI's subscription business customer funnel looks like this. They're trying to get customers while reducing the resulting acquisition cost. They're trying to keep customers and increase their lifetime through reduced attrition. And they're trying to grow revenue through bundling additional value-add services. There's a lot of literature about get, keep, and grow. And our solution leverages AI and machine learning to help with all 3 of these areas at a personalized, customer-specific level. In fact, McKinsey's Mark Singer recently said, companies that excel at personalization generate 40% more revenue than average players. For subscription customers, that can translate into a significant increase in lifetime value, because increasing services and revenue for a single subscription customer results in additional revenue month after month, quarter after quarter. It's great to hear this from companies like McKinsey, but we've seen it firsthand with our partners as well. We love to share our success stories, and we have many of them. For over a decade, we've helped our partners with subscription businesses to harness the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning for tangible business impact. Our goal is to help each of our partners increase their enterprise customer lifetime value by millions of dollars through our solution and the resulting efforts. Partners that have been with us the longest have seen over $100 million of CLV improvement that is directly traceable to our solution. So our main goal today is to take a look at a part of our solution, what it looks like, and how it can turbocharge your subscription business. And I'm going to turn things over to VOZIQ.
Thank you, Brandon, for the background. $100 million, that's amazing, right? Every time you say those numbers, it just gives me, the secret to success is operationalizing the intelligence, not just getting stuck with intelligence. So in the next, let's say 15 minutes or so, what I will do is talk a little bit about data, both internal data as well as third-party data that we attach to all of our customers to create customer level intelligence. And then the bulk of our call will be looking at a couple of screens and really talk about how do we operationalize intelligence. There's a lot of talk about AI these days. We have been doing these AI models and all these things, for more than 10 years, delivering those types of numbers that Brandon has shared. But let's just open the hood and see how these things work under the cover. So the first thing that I'm highlighting here is we focused on not just creating intelligence, but we created on explainability of that intelligence. When someone, when we say this customer is at higher propensity to cancel, we cannot operationalize this thing until we clearly understand what are the drivers of attrition for every single customer. And the reasons are all different for every single customer. When we say this customer will absorb a price increase, why this customer is going to absorb a price increase versus why someone might react in a negative way to the point of cancellation in some cases, or lead scoring or anything else, right? And the way we do that is I'll talk about both internal data and external data. One of the things that we found, because we have been working with subscription home services companies for a long time, we actually look at home itself as for these home services companies, we actually look at home itself as the customer, not the person who lives in the home. So that gives us, some interesting advantages, right? Historically, we have made decisions on, a 800 FICO customer, with lifetime value, higher than a 600 FICO score customer. Today, we are able to say, what is the lifetime value of a customer who lives in $1 million home versus a $250,000 home? We're able to say what is the lifetime value of a customer who lives in a 2-bedroom home versus a 5-bedroom home, right? So we take these home attributes and the neighborhood attributes, right? The attrition and lifetime value characteristics of someone living in the middle of Montana versus middle of New York. They're completely different, and we have mined all these data points. So now the first thing that we do when we work with our companies, and this is going a lot towards explainability and actionability of our intelligence, is we attach this type of third-party data, income levels by neighborhoods, affordability levels by neighborhoods. That goes a lot into how you can upgrade, how you can secure referrals, and how you can price manage and manage their retention and all these things. So neighborhood insights are part of the solution that we attach to our customers' internal data. Home itself, like what I said, is a pretty big value driver for us, because it is visible. When contact center agents talk with them, it's very clear that I'm speaking with a lifestyle that looks like high end versus a little more price sensitive, right? So we attach that, and then how we personalize this is we finally attach internal data. This might be more like payment history or contact history, or if you have a product, their usage, if it is technical product, their trouble history and things like that. So we advise our customers in what data points have predictive power, and we make it like very, very easy to extract those insights, plug it into our platform, and then we run the rest of the magic, right? So now that's one thing that I wanted to highlight before we talk about now. When we talk about internal data, what are the types of internal data? So on the left side of the screen, you have examples of, demographic data. Could be address, could be, contracts, and, when they signed up, for what they signed up, and things like that. Relatively easy for our customers to extract. Sometimes, our customers think, we have a lot of data, but we still need to organize that. There is a data warehouse project going on. Let's talk after that. But once we explain, hey, by the way, these are simple data sources. We don't need to, kind of integrate all these things. It's going to be a journey that makes it like relatively simple for them to get started with AI. So these are the proven data sources that have a lot of predictive power. Billing. So for example, are they on credit card payment method versus ACH payment method, right? So we know the difference between those two things. Service, are they having repeat service issues or one-off issues? are the services, to add on certain things or to fix certain things, right? All of that has predictive power. If you have an app, usage goes a long way in kind of seeing, which one is using, and as a result, might spend more money with you or stay with you longer. So integrate all of that. If you have implemented any satisfaction surveys, all of that goes there. Like I said, the address itself is actually telling us quite a bit, right? And in predictive churn models, of course, we learn from previous cancels. In price increase models, we learn from previous price increases and what happened after that. So there are many other data sources that are indicated here. One thing I wanted to also emphasize is there's a lot of unstructured data these days businesses are collecting. That could be log data, that could be trouble data, that could be usage data. And one particular data source that we are finding very, very high value is from unstructured notes that your agents are taking in your call centers. At the end of the call, they're typing customer called, upset about, technician not showing up on time. Our system reads that type of thing and then, understand, oh, this customer might be upset. The reason for the upset, why they're upset is because, it's someone not showing up on time, right? There are many, many, many other scenarios like that where, good at reading all of that and putting all of that back into the predictive model. So we are finding extremely good value in unstructured data, right? So we help our customers in kind of tying all these data sources together and then put all of that into our cloud. And then what you see at the bottom left is all the third-party data that I kind of mentioned. Now, when we combine these internal data sources and external data sources like, Zillow and Google and IRS and census, and in certain cases like pest control, even weather information, this is hotter climate, this is colder climate, all of that is useful, and we bring all of that data to them. So once we kind of fuse this data, the magic happens on the right side, right? So what we are seeing on the right side is many companies, when they say that, I've been implementing AI, but that's not giving me a lot of value. We have heard all those things, and we found, the obvious reason is, maybe they might have created, one model called, churn model, or, maybe a satisfaction model or a price model or something like that. But we actually create 10 plus different predictive models, all created for subscription companies that work as a single system, right? An example of that model is customer lifetime value, right? Not the lifetime value of customers who signed up in 2020 or 2018, more like cohort level analysis. We actually individually identify what is the lifetime value of customer number 1 versus customer number 100 versus, all those other customers. So we know very, very granular information, right? And the other thing, and we will focus on this particular thing on this call, is churn prediction model, right? Again, not cohort level, churn prediction, how likely are customers canceling at end of contract versus in contract versus out of contract, or this plan or that plan, or this FICO or that FICO. We combine all these things and we predict who's likely to cancel at the customer level, and then explain why they will cancel, right? So we can now provide the right prescriptions and retain them, right? So similar models are available for who's likely to absorb a price increase versus not, who's likely to be a promoter versus not, so you can secure some referrals, and even to the point of who's likely to take this particular offer versus some other offer. Some of these is cost-related offers, and some of these are upgrade-related offers, and some of these might be even price reductions or price locks, right? So who's going to respond to which type of offer? We are able to explain all of that at the customer level because our models have been tuned over the last 10 plus years on what that bullet point is saying. Hundreds of pre-built AI features trained over 20 million active and canceled subscribers. So that's the immediate value that we bring on top of the software, right? Software is going to do all of this, but these models have been pre-trained, and then they will be customized for every single implementation. But a lot of like the Tesla car, right? It's driving miles and it's learning every single day about this corner versus that corner. Our models have learned all these things, so every single customer is going to benefit from what we have done over the last 10 years, right? So with that as the background, let's jump into the demo portion, which is what I'm going to do by sharing the screen. Okay, so now we are in VOZIQ solution. Again, as Brandon mentioned, this is created for subscription lifetime value management. which can be managed through getting more customers at lower cost or price managing them or retaining them. This particular demonstration is going to be more about customer retention. At a future time, we will review the other solutions. So the first thing that we see once we log in is every single customer. This is home services customers. So we actually look at home itself as the customer, not the person who lives in the home. So here we are clearly seeing all the homes using our third-party data integrations and things like that. The first thing that we are seeing is this is a high-risk customer. And then immediately it is explaining why they are at risk, right? So this is a low-risk customer, this is a high-risk customer, this is a residential customer, this is a commercial customer, this is the lifestyle of this particular residential customer, this is how the business looks like. But then it is immediately saying, oh, there's higher than average price here and lower than average price here. There's an advanced system deployed here, there's a basic system deployed here. Usage is low here, usage is high here, right? So all these, drivers of, higher attrition or lower attrition are all kind of immediately visible. And that goes a long way in, personalizing these interactions like, what Brandon mentioned, a lot of value to be realized. If we can truly understand the reasons for, someone likely to be attriting versus absorbing a price versus converting or not converting, right? So the secret to success there is, what we call these health indicators. I will talk about that in a minute in detail, but that's the first thing that we see once we log into VOZIQ platform. Now let's take one step forward before we talk about how do we turn all of this intelligence into operational intelligence. There's a little bit of setup that happens before your frontline, whether that is field reps or contact center reps, are fully equipped and empowered with this type of intelligence. So when we go into retention solution, I'm going to go into analyze segments. So here we have a situation with, let me just move this a little bit out of the way. Yeah. So we have an example of nearly 30,000 customers. Think about this as your own business. You may have 100,000 customers, 500,000 customers, a million customers. So regardless of the number of customers, the first thing that this system is automatically doing every single day, not once a quarter, not a manual process. Every single day it is reading all the data points that I mentioned earlier and scoring your customers into 8,000 high-risk customers that are predicted to cancel at 30%, and another 8,000 low-risk customers that are predicted to cancel at 9%, 8%, let's say, right? So now the first thing you will know is immediately not every customer is the same. While average might say we have a 17 or 18% average attrition, immediately you will see, oh, there's a cohort of group of customers, 30% attrition versus 7% attrition. When we show the lifetime value or revenue impact of these customers, I think it makes it like very, very easy for our, for everyone to understand. So here we are predicting a revenue loss of 4.1 million, but interestingly, half of that is actually coming from high-risk customers. So retaining these high-risk customers is going to give a lot more value to our customers. Now the question is all about how do we operationalize this? Predictive model is okay, segmenting customers into high risk, low risk is okay. So to do that, what we do is we go to a concept called microsegmentation, which is nothing but taking all the customers, and we don't want to treat all the customers exactly the same way. As the examples that I showed earlier, every customer is different. There is high usage, low usage, the bank payment versus, credit card payment, right? Bunch of things. So the first thing that we do, which is proven to be very, very effective, visually seeing this, and also, when you go into operations, this goes a long way. What we have on the x-axis is churn risk levels, right? So the left side shown in dark red is highest risk customers. And as we go into the right side, those are the lower risk customers. On the y-axis, different packages and different contract status. So what we are saying here is out of this 28,000 customers, we are able to find, or the system is able to find 288 customers that are predicted to cancel. Forget about 17, 18% average attrition that we talked about earlier, 44%. Nearly half of these customers will cancel unless we do something, right? Now, as we go into this 350 customers, they're predicted to cancel at 23% attrition. As we go into the right side, you will find these 5% attritions, 4% attritions, all of that, right? So this is what we call micro segmentation of customers. Why this is important is instead of thinking about offers, randomly and, providing all these offers that, customers don't feel like they are applicable to them, this micro segmentation will immediately allow us to identify high risk, basic package, out of contract, what should we do? Low risk, advanced package, they're not canceling, but let's look for referrals or maybe price management or maybe even upgrades, right? So that gives a pretty good way for us to segment these customers and see, what can be differentiated treatments for this 288 customers, this 186 customers, this 171 customers. So that goes a long way in what Brandon mentioned. The key to success here in realizing hundreds of millions is how do we operationalize, how do we identify individual customer needs, right? So that's one idea I want all of you to leave with. And the other idea is, again, if you have this, goes a long way. If you have field presence, that means technicians going to the homes to service those homes, or maybe technicians going to the homes to install and upgrade. Without field level intelligence, everybody is kind of, going and, blindly operating as if like every customer is average customer. So what we highlight here is, by state, first of all, right, there's Texas has 13% attrition, California has, 12.9. At a state level, maybe we may not see a lot of differences, but when I expand this thing and bring this to maybe zip code level, right? So now we are starting to identify, hey, this particular zip code 76549 has, instead of average 17, we're talking about 22% attrition, versus this particular zip code has 5.9% attrition and this particular zip code has 12.7. So that itself is going to tell us, maybe localized strategies if you have like local presence with branches and installers locally. And then what our customers really love about is instead of just, zip code level, all the way down to the customer level, right? So this particular customer has 2.1% attrition, and the neighbor, literally 2 homes next to that, is 35% attrition, right? Having this type of intelligence is extremely useful. If you have presence.
And Vasu, I just want to add, like this is probabilistic attrition. This is what we believe this customer will attrit at, and so we're risking them accordingly.
Yeah, good point, Brandon. So the thing that I'm trying to emphasize here is the key to personalization is understanding the drivers of attrition that I showed earlier, micro-segmenting them so we can create personalized offers, and creating a layer of, if you have field level presence, equipping them and empowering them. And then if you have contact centers, equipping them and empowering them. So let's go back and play a call center scenario here, right? So here, let's say I'm a call center agent. I'm waiting for calls. I look for, maybe this customer is calling us. I search and I see all this detailed intelligence here, right? So the first thing that I'm seeing is, okay, this customer is already out of contract, paying $57, and the system has already identified this as a high-risk customer, right? And the lifestyle of the customer, for us to have like targeted conversations, is right away identified. This customer is living in a home that was built in 1999. It's a big lot. That is very important for pest control, lawn care, home security. They put a lot of cameras and termite protections and all these things, or maybe even insurance companies, right, to have targeted companies. And, big enough home for us to, consider advanced opportunities. But one thing the system is already identifying as the risk reason is all these health indicators that are identified here. On average, this customer is actually paying $9 above the average price. So that's good to know. They're already on auto pay. That's good. They're on a premium plan. That's also pretty good, but they're having high trouble. And also they're not using the system as much as, rest of the customers are using. So equipped with this insight, what the agent can do is, these are all the system recommended offers for them. For this particular customer, another customer will get a completely different offers. So in this case, we see the lifestyle. We also know these types of lifestyle customers, what types of equipments, what types of plans they are, more often accepting. So the system is automatically recommending, maybe, we should add a doorbell camera here, maybe for a small price increase and justify the price. So let's not increase the price too much. Let's just, instead of $5 for a camera, maybe let's just see if we can secure $2 and put them on a new 24-month contract. If the customer takes that thing, that's all wonderful. If the customer, rejects that, the next offer might be, maybe, it's not about price increase. Let's just put a free temperature control. Maybe this time, let's see if we can secure a 3-year renewal. Maybe this might be more attractive for the customer. They accept that, and then we mark this thing as renewed. And then agent is submitting this thing, right? So what happens is, this is happening for every single customer at the customer level, right? Everything is personalized, risk levels, risk reasons, offers, and acceptance decline. Everything is fully automated. So next time when a similar customer calls, we know what is being accepted, what is not being accepted. So this happens over and over. And this is what we are finding as the secret to success, and really how to equip your frontline teams with this type of intelligence and scale these things at a very, very high level, right? So with that, I'm going to wrap my demo portion, right? Hopefully I gave, good ideas for everyone to think about how to bring this type of intelligence into their own operations. Let me just recap this thing. So what we have seen is, how do we bring intelligence at the customer level? How do we turn these customers into micro segments with similar risk profiles and similar revenue opportunities? How do we add a layer of, geographic intelligence? And then how do we, completely automate, operationalize this thing at a customer level and equip your call center agents if you have a call center? Now, one other thought I want to leave you with is, if you think of it, if you have 100,000 customers, think of it. These customers are interacting with your business, probably millions of times every year, because you have a call center, you have SMS channel, you might be sending direct mails, you may have field, you may have mobile app, you may have web portal, right? So once we perfect these things in 1 or 2 channels, our recommendation to scale this thing to realize the value that Brandon highlighted earlier is absolutely to put the same intelligence in every single channel. Through our APIs, all the intelligence that I showed here is also available through APIs. So it's super easy to integrate into your web portal, mobile app, field apps, whether they are homegrown apps or, third-party apps. These are easy to integrate APIs. So once we kind of fully create that intelligence, operationalize that intelligence, put that intelligence into, all kinds of channels, you will be, positioned to realize, the value that, we are seeing here. AI has significant potential for subscription businesses to increase their enterprise value. And we have done that for many companies through your own data, attached with our third-party data, and bringing a lot of, operational experience with hundreds of employees from VOZIQ, kind of solving this one particular problem. How do we improve the lifetime value of subscription businesses? So hopefully I gave you plenty of ideas for you to think about. We would love to partner with you, demonstrate how our solution works on your data. Doug is going to explain how that onboarding process works. Doug?
Sure. Thank you, Vasu. All right. So you might be asking yourself, how do we get started working together? And we have a great concept and engagement model. We're offering a no-cost bootcamp, right? No cost to you, using the software that Vasu just demonstrated, enterprise-grade software aimed at a specific set of subscription economic use cases that will come and meet and figure out what the right ones are for your organization. Our bootcamp isn't about abstract learning or pre-baked apps. Our bootcamps enable participants tackle the real-world subscription-based use cases and see the results in less than 90 days using your data. And we're very, very efficient. And there's aha moments after 30 days. There's even bigger aha moments after 60. And so there's incremental aha moments as we move through the bootcamp. The bootcamp will empower thought leaders like you to drive the next level of subscription growth using a proven methodology fueled by VOZIQ AI that will be guided by an experienced team of senior solution experts. Within 90 days, you'll discover the transformative power using VOZIQ AI with your data. And I've personally, and so have Vasu and Brandon, surveyed all of our customers. And here's kind of the net of why our boot camps have been so successful. Here's what we're hearing. So step one, we start off with a maturity assessment whereby we'll evaluate your mission critical applications that support your subscription business today. Step two, we'll then develop the business case and ROI for an AI-led transformation. Step three, and this is where things get real exciting, is a quick launch. Our team will consume and analyze your data that will fast track the process. We'll host weekly meetings to ensure the use case, results are in line with the success criteria, and your expectations, most importantly. And step 4 and 5, when the project is approved, there's a seamless transition from a live sandbox, which we've just spent 90 days building out, to a scaled out production ready solution. VOZIQ AI comes fully interoperable ready. It's enterprise grade software that's been tested and tried over the last 10 years that will create transformational change for your organization. And here's why the bootcamp will be a game changer. There's a lot of our customers are like, this is too good to be true. Well, that's why we have the bootcamp, and that's why it's no cost. There's no skin in the game. There's very little time required on your end. We just need a bit of your data, and then we'll run it through our system. We go beyond the pilot exercise by identifying opportunities and gaps by way of a white space analysis exercise. We'll perform a survival study and create a roadmap for success so that you understand exactly after the boot camp what the plan is, what the strategic value is, what the ROI is, and what the rollout strategy will look like. The feedback we get from our business champions is this: they have everything they need to leverage AI to drive transformational change in their organization. They tell us it's because the results of the bootcamp produced a production-ready platform with unique business applications tailored for our use cases, with highly tuned models that's supported by a consulting team that has become a trusted advisor over the course of the 90-day engagement. And to ensure your personal success and get buy-in from your organization at the end of the 90 days, we'll come on site and we'll host a meeting and present an executive level readout that outlines the top subscription growth opportunities. The executive readout includes a review of the business case, the ROI analysis, and implementation roadmap. So as we wrap up the webinar, I'd like to thank you for your time and interest. And I have two special offers to share with you. Number one is what I just discussed, the AI-enabled growth strategy bootcamp. It'll provide you with insight to your current customer retention programs. And everyone thinks about that. Are we doing the right things? Are we doing the wrong things? How effective is it? We're going to tell you that. We'll talk about and analyze the supporting processes, the technology that's driving it or not driving it, and the areas for subscription revenue improvement. And finally, we appreciate your time and interest. For all the attendees on the webinar, we're offering a no-cost bootcamp. And then for your first year, a 50% discount for the first year on our software and services to help you retain your most valuable asset, your customers. I want to thank you for your time today. Please let us know if you have any questions by way of the chat box, and I'll turn it over to Brandon to wrap it up.
Thanks, Doug. So we've shown a slice of our solution. We talked about get, keep, and grow, and really a lot of the focus of the demo today was on the keep section of how can we keep our existing customers. But if you joined this webinar today because you have needs in the getting new customers area, or taking the additional customers and you're trying to increase wallet share and add-ons, we can help with that, because the same insight that you've seen today about what are good customers, what do they look like, can expand to those other areas. And we've been able to take this technology and to create tailor-made, micro-targeted insights into all three of those areas: get, keep, and grow. So we'd love to talk to you if this has sparked interest and this feels like this is something that can help you accomplish your goals, whether it's for the rest of 2024 or whether you're starting to look at some strategic initiatives for 2025. We'd love to see if this boot camp makes sense for you. And it's something we can start right away. And that 3 months from now, we can have an executive readout with you and the rest of your executive team to show you how artificial intelligence and machine learning can help you increase your enterprise valuation. If you're having challenges with getting customers, we can help there. If you're having challenges keeping your customers, we can make a dramatic impact. All of us know that by reducing our attrition by whether, depending upon our industry, whether it's 100 basis points or 500 basis points, that can mean incredible value gained for your company. Or taking your existing customer base and looking for ways to do upgrades or strategic price increases, we can help. So we look forward to hearing with you. If you're on LinkedIn, I've probably sent you a message during this webinar and said, hey, let's talk. If for some reason you didn't see that invite from me, we'll be reaching out by email, but you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I just dropped my LinkedIn URL into the chat. We want to talk and we want to partner with you and to help you to be able to accomplish your goals. If your company's been wanting to figure out what's the best way to break into AI and machine learning, you found it. It's here. We can help you do it. Proven success. So again, thank you for coming today. Sorry we went a little bit long, but we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks to Vasu, thanks to Doug, and thanks to you for joining us today. We hope to see you next time.